Now down the wall, down the wall, down the wall, down the wall, down the wall. Stability up, down the wall, down the wall, down the wall. There we go. There we go. God, if you guys didn't get your bags filled there, I don't know what happened. That was amazing. Great fucking push. Great push.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the first of a series of videos for Intothemists.com. I'm your host, the Lethe Guardian. Today we'll be going into Guild Wars 2 World vs. World North America Tier 1. Season 2 is ending, and we're going to take a look back at the season and what will come after. Our next guest is Jedbacca. Welcome, Jedbacca.
Good day, sir.
Jedbacca, can you tell us a little bit about you, your guild, and your world?
For me, I actually just recently retired as GM from the last 8 years of leading SF. At one point in time, we were able to hit within the top 100 in Guild Wars 1. It's kind of where we kind of peaked as a team, and then decided to carry ourselves into Guild Wars 2. And pretty much what you see now is what you get out of SF. Our team right now, we're running probably about roughly 225 members, and we're international. We actually got to start off in Guild Wars 2 by being like a small teams unit running non-stop Havoc all the time, and eventually, I don't know, I ended up getting a pin and started tagging up and leading maps back on SBI. Eventually transferred over to JQ and been here ever since.
Excellent. Well, pleasure to host you. How has Season 2 been for your guild and your world?
For our guild, it's been somewhat enjoyable. A lot of our team has actually been splitting off and doing more PvP. We've been getting more numbers into there instead of World vs. World. During the season, there was the whole politics of like the 2v1 and whatnot from TC and JQ, something that I was not included in on a leadership meeting and whatnot. But as a guild, we ended up deciding to support that because that's, I guess, what the server ended up going with. So instead of, causing a bunch of drama and whatnot back and forth, we just kind of went with the flow and kind of did our thing and still worked what we could for the server.
What has been the toughest challenge as a server for this season?
I would say the NA Prime coverage for JQ. As you guys notice, the two main teams that actually tag up and actually will run a Borderland and whatnot from JQ currently is SG, Shadow Gypsies, and Strike Force, SF. And we do have a couple of other float teams out there, like Die, QT, which was formerly Pro. We have Heaven Sent HS. They're kind of an up and coming team. KA Karma Gaming, I believe, is it? They're actually a growing guild as well too. They're trying to get their numbers and whatnot, but we've been struggling as a server during NA Prime to actually be able to have active guilds out there working, and it's really been leaning on two of our major guilds to kind of uphold things during NA Prime. So it's been a real struggle for us, even with already having the weak EU coverage that we already have. And it makes it easier for, BG and even TC to be able to go ahead and hit us in our weak spot and get a good shot at us in the ribs.
All right. What do you think of Season 2?
To be honest, I think the scoring system, it's kind of weird to me. I've never played a scoring system that was like this. I honestly don't know what could be able to be better for us, but because if you look at it at the beginning of the season, you could gauge it to where, okay, if this one server that has better coverage wins these set of 3 matchups, they're going to be able to take the whole season. I don't think that it should be based like that. I don't know what the possible best solution could be, but I don't feel that this Season 2 is it.
With Guild Wars 2 being released in China, how has that affected your server, and how do you think it will affect the standings of Tier 1 and Tier 2?
We were kind of hit. We did miss out on some grade A commanders that would work during that time frame. And I'm pretty sure that we lost a decent following that they had from our server over there, and I'm sure that BG and even TC probably got hit. I believe probably all the servers got hit, because you get a better better connectivity being right in the area. For Asia Prime.
Absolutely. What do you think that ArenaNet can do to improve future seasons?
Well, it's more of like a quality of life update is what I would think a lot of teams would want, would be a better commanding system. Like, you can go into different MMOs and be able to like pop, like, let's say like a guild tag. I believe a lot of teams want to have more personalization, like, Guild Wars 1, you had your guild hall and whatnot, but to be able to tag up as your own guild on the map, to where if I pop like a gold tag on map, only my guildies can be able to see it and be able to follow me. That would be nice. So that way, teams could be able to have more of a sense of pride, when they're running their own banner. I know a lot of it kind of revolves around, the whole GVG kind of thing that we've somewhat put together as servers from all the tiers and whatnot. But it's just nice to be able to just like, it would be cool if you could have your own squad tag for your guild.
Absolutely. What do you see as the future of Tier 1?
Currently right now, with the state of the game, I see it continually, like for how the PPT game is played, you end up having this cascade effect to where everybody ends up migrating to the most well-known commander, and you see that on all three servers. And I think that you may be able to give a better outlook for other people to follow new people if you're to do those guild tags and whatnot. So then guilds are running by themselves and be able to go ahead and get people in there to be able to do their pug commandering, their pug mandering or whatever.
What type of improvements would you like to see in World vs. World?
Make it harder to take objectives. Like, I know that it's extremely hard already as is to kind of take like a waypointed objective, but when you first cap like an objective, like you paper up a keep, make it harder for someone to take that. Now, I don't know if that would end up breaking people into saying, screw it, I'm not going to go for objectives anymore and do nothing but open field battles, and then that would still divulge into blob versus blob combat. But from a tactics perspective, if people were to actually play that type of game mode, I think making objectives harder to take would kind of entice those commanders that actually do like to play that PPT style, to where you have to like position yourselves properly to be able to siege a keep and like force the long siege and whatnot. But then again, since we're all gamers and we're all ADD, chances are that probably wouldn't fly with the whole community, because people would rather be able to get their fast caps in and move on.
Do you have any final thoughts before we part?
Kind of want to make guilds have like their own special place in the game. Like, it's Guild Wars, so make it more special to be a guild itself in the game, rather than, okay, I fly the SF banner and then all these random people are always following me all the time. Just make it special, towards the guilds. I mean, it's called Guild Wars. Guild Wars 1, we fought GVG. In Guild Wars 2, there's not really a true format that's set by the game to be able to do that. Unless, of course, you do like TPVP or what I call it, jousting of the Richards out in the field on World vs. World maps.
Well, thank you so much, Jedbacca. I look forward to seeing and hearing from you in the future.
Yes, sir. I try to keep my answers as short as possible. I don't know if I answered them fully properly for you, but is there any clarification you want out of me?
No, that you did quite well. Thank you so much.
All right. Well, you have a good evening, sir.